Hi, my name's Daniel and you're watching Hiking and Survival in Japan. Today we're going to give a full review on the HX Outdoors Survival Knife, also known as the Rock. Right, before we get started on the full review on this knife, let's go back indoors and have a very close look at this knife and have a look at some of the features that you're getting. Okay, so here we are back indoors and we're going to have a closer look at this before we take it out and try it out completely. So it comes in this nifty little box and its proper name is the Rock, and it's designed by a guy called Super TD and it is manufactured by H&X Outdoors, okay, from Hong Kong. As I said, it comes in this lovely box with a lot of information about what you can actually do with the actual knife. Unfortunately, it is all in Chinese, so it's going to be difficult for most people to read or to actually understand, but the knife has a lot of nice features on it. The blade itself is made from TD10. They state this clearly on the box, and so they're pretty proud and pretty certain that that's what it actually is made from. Okay, dimensions of the knife: the blade itself is 9 centimeters long. The overall length of the knife is 22 centimeters long. It does come with a pommel handle and 2 eyelids to help you lash it onto a spear or whatever you want to lash it onto. It comes with a Codec Sheet and a fire steel clipped onto it as well. So that's enough talk. Let's open it up and show you what you get. So you get some packing and then the knife itself. So, okay, so here it is. It's very well made. As it comes in a Codec Sheet, it has a thumb push lock on it. Take that at a moment. Let's have a quick look at the actual blade. Now there is some weight in this. It actually does weigh a little and it fits lovely in your hand for the size of it, so it gives you a good grip. It has jimping on the top here, which allows you to get a good firm thumb grip when you're doing fine work. It has a striker piece for your fire steel on the top. Got a pommel handle at the back, at the bottom of it, which is very well made, and as you can see, it is full tang. It's fully well made. The actual grip on the side, I haven't figured out what it is, but it's some type of hardened plastic which has some fine gripping on it. Now, how that would do under wet, muddy conditions, I'm not too sure, but at the moment it seems pretty good. They do give you a lanyard hole at the bottom, and as I said before, 2 eyelids up the top for stringing, for lashing it down. Okay, out of the box it comes pretty sharp. We'll look at that in a minute. Let's go and have a look at the Codec Sheet. This is the Codec Sheet. As I said, it is pretty well made. It's Codec. Okay, it's going to give a bit of flex in it. Fits lovely to the knife. No jingling, no rocking. The fire steel clips in nicely there. As you can see, I've tried it out to make sure it did work. Fire steel has a lovely grip on it to help you pull. Again, it has a lanyard loop if you wanted to have it separate or extra secured on it. Finishing on this piece now is not so good. There's a bit of where the molding was done, which could have been sanded down if you know, but for the price you pay for it, it's really not too bad. And that is a pretty hefty piece of fire steel they give you. It's not a skimpy little piece, and that's not going anywhere either. As for the Codec Sheet, you got 2 more lashing holes here, and then you've got screws holding on this top part, which goes for the fire steel. On the reverse side, again, you've got screws holding on the actual belt loop. Okay, and on the side is your sharpener or grinder for the blade, so you can actually sharpen it in the field. This is a pretty nifty idea I've never seen before, so it's pretty good. It's a nice little feature. Now, as I said before in some of my other videos, I don't actually like these type of belt loops because they limit you to actually having to take your belt off and on again, but they are very secure, so that's pretty good. I would have liked and been able to some way to adjust the height of it, but that's what you get. Okay, it does flex a bit. I've read people giving out about this flexing, saying, "Oh, it's a cheap plastic holder that goes with it," but this is Codec. Codec does flex, and you need it to flex a little bit, because if this was too rigid, it would just shatter on you. So you need it to flex a little bit. What's a nice feature is they've actually put a little drain hole. I don't know if you can see that just here, so if water does get in the sheet, it will drain out and stop your blade from rusting, which is quite nice. That's the sheet, and as I said, there's a firm positive lock, very little rattle, and it's not going anywhere. You need a good thumb push to unlock it. Let's have a little closer look at the blade. You can see that it's quite nice. You have the Fire logo, company stamp. Again, it's engraved, has a signature of the maker of it, and has a lovely blade. Now, it is quite sharp out of the box. Let's see how sharp it is. Right, I got some paper here out of my printer, and we're just going to see how well this does with it. Now, as I said, it's not the sharpest knife, but it does give some clean cuts, but really takes hard to start it. So it can be sharpened up more. It's quite adequate as it is, but if you want to have a finer blade, then you will want to sharpen it up more. But as you've seen, it does cut paper, so for field craft it's quite sharp, but it could be sharpened more. But then again, as we said, for the price you're paying for this, it's actually a lot of knife for very little money, and I think if they would have spent more time on sharpening the blade, the price would probably have gone up on you. So that's something you can fix yourself, so that's not really a downer on the actual knife. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back out to the field, and we're going to put this to the test and see, does it actually live up to what they say it will do, or is it just a nice piece of fancy bling. Okay, so now you've had a closer look at the knife. Now we're going to see what this thing can do. So this is the scenario. You've been out backpacking all day, you suddenly realise that you're not going to get home in time, so you decide to stay out. All you got with you is your pack, a tarp, and something to eat. This is the only tool you have to set up camp. So let's go and see what this thing can do. Right, okay, so as you can see, I have collected some wood. I don't need that much of it anyway. Get a little fire now to cook my lunch on. So we're going to start processing this and see how it goes. So a lot of it's just dead wood, so we shouldn't have too much problems. But with these nice bigger pieces now, we are going to see if we can chop our way through it. Now, nothing has been done to this knife yet, so it's the same as it was when it just came out of the box. Unfortunately, most of the wood in this forest is all dead, and I'm just picking up the forest floor litter. I don't have much choice. I can't be going cutting down live trees, unfortunately. This wood is lovely and hard in spots. Well, I wouldn't be using it too much for chopping wood anyway. Be better off breaking it. What I also need is feather sticks. So let's see how she does the feather sticks. Oh, it's making a lot of nice shavings, but that's really it. Oh, so he's sharp enough to shave wood. And I think with a bit of work on the blade, could be quite nice. As I said before, there's a bit of weight in it, but for chopping down trees, I think it has to be a hell of a lot sharper than it is from the box. But it has potential for the price you're paying for it. And it's a vital situation. You have to make stakes, tent pegs. Yeah, you can get there. Now, before I light my fire, as you can see, my forest ground is quite littered with debris. It's quite damp, but still I want to make sure that the fire doesn't catch anywhere. And as I don't have stones to build it off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a fire pit. And again, this is my only tool that I have, so don't need to build that much of it. Hole. Let's find out. Can this help me? Dig a hole. Yeah, this is not going to do your knife much good, but as I said, it's a survival situation. I might be cutting roots out of the ground to eat, so this would simulate digging that, or maybe I'm going to dig a hole for whatever the reason. My knife is the only item I have. Okay, well, I have to dig a decent hole there. Let's get our fire started. Right. I don't know if you can see me very well, but anyway, you can see the hole. Part of this task is that I wanted to cook up a meal for my lunch. Now I've set up a very simple tarp over my head because it might rain. That's going to fit there. Okay. So make sure I don't get too wet. trusty Billy set with me today. Got some coffee set, an extra soup. Basically do up my coffee. Today I'm going to be eating cream stew and rice. I got my hubby fire starter kit there, so it's getting out. So I said what I wanted to do. I'll get the very wet pieces of this now. On a piece that I can reinforce the sides a little bit. Very wet pieces. Don't want my boiling water or anything go into my fire and put it all out. Okay, so let's set this up first. Alright, this ground is lovely and damp, but still not taking chances. I do have water close by me just to make sure. Now, right. It's funny, it's only April here now in Japan, and the weather is like a summer's day back home in Ireland, but with humidity already starting. It's already a bit clammy. Vaseline balls. As anyone knows, I love these things. You might say, hey, you're cheating. Listen, if it works and it gets your fire lit the first time, who cares? Yeah. These things are great because these can be wet and they're still going to light the Vaseline on it. Okay? So I'm going to stick that in there with my shavings. Kindling ready to go. TP. Right. Let's get this show on the road. Now, I've been trying this out at home a little bit, and I must admit I'm not too impressed with the striker on it. It could be better. Oh, there you go, first time. It goes out, it goes out. This is all live, guys. So, hiding nothing from you. Starting to boil. Right, one of the things I wanted to find out with this knife do is cut through a can. So this is a can which I picked up on the way here, and I'm going to use it now to boil some water in after I cook my food. So my scenario is that, as I said, we're in a survival situation, so I need to boil water. I don't have any utensils. I've picked up this can which I've cleaned out in the river, and I'm going to cut it open now and see. So you have to be very careful, guys. So yeah. She's all off camera there, sorry. She's cutting through no problems. There we go. She cut there pretty nicely. And now I've got my can, I'm going to turn those edges in and cut myself. Now I have something to boil water in, so we'll do that in a few minutes. Right, okay, so let's give our overall review of the rock. To be honest with you, for the price it is, it's not too bad. Alright. So you see it's all dirtied up now. It's all been used. Processing wood. Listen, you know, for this size of knife, you're not going to be processing big logs. If you want to do that, bring an axe. In an emergency, you're going to collect kindling anyway. And so I was able to do that, and I was able to make feather sticks with it. I could dig a hole with it. It cuts. I think with a bit of patience, having it a lot sharper would help you a lot in a lot of situations. So that's one thing I am going to do, is get down and sharpen it a lot more. It is nice to have the sharpening piece in the field, and they do recommend that you wet it first before you do it. Okay, so that's quite handy. The fire steel that comes with it, it's not bad. Okay, it takes a bit of getting used to and getting the right side. I found that this side seemed to get jumpy very quickly and very hard to strike, but this side strikes beautifully, so that's kind of nice. The sheet is pretty well made. I had no problems with it using it and that. The weight is really nice in it. It is good for carving small delicate items as well, and really that's what you want in a survival knife, is something that's going to be, you're going to be able to do craft with, you're going to be able to do whittling, and be able to process food with it as well. So I think once it's sharpened up, cutting through animal skins and other things that you need to slice and dice, it will do for you, like a proper knife. I haven't used a pommel on it because I have nothing to use it on. I don't have stones or slabs. If I was going to use the pommel, it would probably be to knock in stakes into the ground, but then again I could use a bigger piece of wood to do that with it as well. So again, I wasn't able to try that bit out, but overall I'll give it a thumbs up. It was well worth the money. It's definitely going into my hiking bag for all my hikes that I'm going on. So yeah, check them out. I know you can get them on Amazon and AliExpress as well. You'll probably be able to get them on eBay as well, so just check out your prices. Sorry, the smoke here is getting to me a little bit, because I did get the fire started, and I said my food is on the way. So I'm going to sit back a bit. There's a lovely heat on that actually. So yeah, overall pretty good knife. Now some people ask me about knife laws here in Japan, and to be honest with you, it's like any other country. Okay, just don't walk around built up areas with knives hanging off you, or even in your pocket, especially like survival knives and stuff like that, because if you are stopped, you have no reason to have them. Okay, if you are going to work and use them at work, yes, you can have them on you, as long as they're carried in a secure way that they're not going to accidentally fall out or be taken on you. As regards to the length of the knife, listen, I know some guys here in Japan who do carry 12-inch blades more when they go backpacking and hiking, and these are Japanese people, and yeah, machetes, which you can then process a lot of stuff with. But again, if you have a reason for carrying it, it's fine, as long as you don't take it out of your backpack until you're in the woods. You're fine. Strapping it to the side of your backpack and getting on the bus is a big no-no, okay, at the end of the day, guys. So it's not a case what is the life laws in your country, it's using common sense, okay. It's usually the same in most countries. If you're showing it around in front of everyone, yeah, you're going to get into trouble, okay. But if you're using it for a purpose and you're camping, then no, you're not going to have any problems, okay. So just remember that, and please keep safe. Alright, hope you like this review. Leave your comments below. Now there's a lot more things I could do with it. If you want to see me doing some of the things that I'm able to do, let me know and I'll try to do it for you. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, and always remember, be prepared.